Before they say their name, before you even shake hands, a narcissist has already shown you who they are. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. Most people just never learn to see it. Welcome back to Narcissistic Insights, the channel that teaches you to spot manipulation before it ever gets a chance to start. If you're new here, hit subscribe, because this video could genuinely save you months, maybe years, of pain. We're not talking about red flags that show up after 3 dates or 3 months. We're talking about the very first conversation. The handshake. The introduction. The small talk that feels so harmless. That's where the truth is already hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the first giveaway, and it's one almost nobody notices because it's disguised as a compliment. It's called instant intensity. Within minutes of meeting you, a narcissist will often say something that feels shockingly flattering. "You're not like anyone I've ever met. I feel like I've known you forever. I don't usually connect with people this fast." It feels amazing to hear. It feels like chemistry, like fate. But here's what's actually happening underneath. Genuine connection takes time to build, because trust is earned through consistency. Instant intensity skips that entire process and goes straight for your emotions before your judgment has a chance to catch up. Real interest grows. Manufactured interest explodes. Here's the second thing to watch for, and this one is sneaky because it looks like generosity. It's called strategic mirroring. In the first 5 minutes, pay attention to how quickly they start agreeing with you. You mention you love hiking, suddenly they love hiking too. You mention a tough childhood, suddenly they had an almost identical experience. You mention your values, your dreams, your taste in music, and somehow they match all of it perfectly. It feels like you've finally found someone who just gets you. But ask yourself this. Is it realistic for a total stranger to align with nearly everything you say within minutes of meeting you? Mirroring isn't connection. It's a mirror held up specifically to make you feel seen, because feeling seen is what makes you drop your guard. Now here's the third sign, and this one hides behind something that looks like humility. Excessive self-deprecation used as bait. A narcissist might say something like, "I'm actually pretty broken," or, "People usually leave me eventually," or, "I'm not easy to love, but I'm trying." It sounds vulnerable. It sounds honest. And your natural instinct, especially if you're a kind, empathetic person, is to want to reassure them, to prove them wrong, to be the exception. But notice what just happened. Within minutes, you're already in the position of comforting them, already invested in proving your worth to a stranger. That's not vulnerability. That's an early test, checking whether you're the type of person who will overextend yourself for someone else's emotional needs. Let's talk about a fourth pattern, one that's incredibly common and almost always missed. Subtle competence testing. Somewhere in that first conversation, a narcissist will often slip in a small comparison or a mild put-down, disguised as a joke. "Wow, you actually know what you're talking about, unlike most people." Or, "I didn't expect someone like you to be this interesting." It sounds like a compliment on the surface, but there's a quiet insult buried inside it. This is a subtle way of establishing a hierarchy right from the very beginning, testing whether you'll laugh it off, push back, or simply absorb it without question. And here's the fifth and final sign, maybe the most important one of all. Watch how they talk about other people. In the first 5 minutes, notice if they immediately bring up an ex, a former friend, or a past business partner in an extremely negative light. Everyone has been hurt before, that's completely normal. But pay attention to the pattern. If every single story paints them as the perfect, blameless victim and everyone else as crazy, dramatic, or ungrateful, that's not a coincidence. That's a preview of the story they will one day tell about you. Now here's where I want you to pause and really think about something. None of these 5 signs alone are proof of anything. People can be intense, complimentary, self-critical, playful, or have had genuinely bad past relationships without being narcissistic at all. The real skill isn't spotting one sign. It's spotting the cluster. When 2 or 3 of these patterns show up together, in the very first conversation, moving unusually fast, that's when your instincts should quietly switch from excitement to observation. Here's the hardest part to accept, and I say this with real care. Your first instinct is usually right. That tiny, almost invisible feeling of, that was a little too fast, or, that comment was strange, is not you being paranoid or overly cautious. It's pattern recognition happening at lightning speed, faster than your conscious mind can even explain. Most people learn to override that feeling because the surface presentation feels so incredibly good. But that quiet, early signal is one of the most valuable tools you have, and learning to trust it can completely change the trajectory of your relationships. So what should you actually do with all of this? Simple. Slow down. Not with suspicion toward everyone you meet, but with awareness. Let intensity build naturally instead of rewarding instant declarations. Notice if someone agrees with literally everything you say. Pay attention to how they talk about their past, and more importantly, how they talk about people who are no longer in their life. These small observations in the first 5 minutes can save you from 5 years of confusion. If this video just made you rethink a first meeting, a first date, or even a first conversation with someone currently in your life, I want you to comment below and tell me which of these 5 signs surprised you the most. Your comment might be the exact thing that helps someone else catch something they've been missing. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, it helps this reach the people who genuinely need to see it, and subscribe to Narcissistic Insights, because next time, we're revealing the one-sentence narcissists almost always say when they sense you're finally starting to see through them. Stay sharp. Trust your instincts. And I'll see you in the next one.